2023 was messy. I think we can really reflect and look back at the crazy year it's been. Back with my third video, and this time we're not talking about necessarily an album review. Today we are going to talk about pop culture moments in 2023, whether they were great, whether they were a flop, and also I'm going to share with you my favorites of 2023, so like favorite TV shows, favorite albums, yada yada yada. First, let's just talk about general pop culture moments that happened in 2023, because there's a lot of them. This isn't all of them. This is just ones that I found that they were sensational. It'd be fun to just go through the ones that I think were crazy. Leave a comment below if I missed any that you think I should have talked about, because there's a lot of them. When I was like just researching for this YouTube video, realizing like, oh my gosh, that happened in 2023. Like I thought that was 2022. Or the opposite, like, oh, this album was released in 2022. Like Midnight's, for example. I can't believe that was released at the end of 2022. I just feel like it took up my entire 2023. So I really think of Midnight's as like a 2023 album, but let's go ahead and get started. I tried to keep these in kind of chronological order, but we're not really going through a timeline type of thing here. Nepo baby discourse started off in January.
So the term Nepo baby, you've heard it?
This is one that's felt like forever ago that this happened. Hailey Bieber wore her Nepo baby t-shirt. And to me, I thought that was really cringe. Basically, New York Mag released a cover in January talking about like Nepo babies. And it even had some of the Nepo babies on the cover of the magazine. Honestly, a lot of our faves are Nepo babies. My fave is Miley. I have a podcast about Miley. Talk Miley to me. Go follow it on Spotify. I do it with my bestie, Becky. Anyway, back to the program. Even ones that you wouldn't even think about, like producers, and like Hollywood is just full of Nepo babies. And that's the first time a magazine really like spotlighted the problem. I don't know if it's really necessarily a problem. I mean, it makes sense. And I honestly feel like, in my opinion, nepotism happens everywhere, whether you're in Hollywood or not. Do I think that it's good? I don't know. That's kind of how January kicked off. And I just really remember that Hailey Bieber t-shirt.
The child of somebody, you get access that other people don't have, right? So the playing field is not level in that way.
Anyway, something else that happened in January. So the Elvis Presley movie featuring Austin Butler as Elvis, I think dropped in like the end of 2022. But he was still talking like Elvis in January of 2023.
I thought, am I being phony? Is this not my voice? And maybe sometimes I have a Southern twang, but I don't think this is Southern. If I tried to sound like Elvis, I would sound very different right now.
So many people made fun of him for it, and I didn't really have a problem with it. I mean, it showed that he really committed to his role, I guess. I don't know if he still talks like Elvis, but Elvis literally had that man in a chokehold, regardless of him being dead for however many years he's been dead. Something else that happened in January was that Miley Cyrus dropped Flowers. I can buy myself flowers. Pretty sure she dropped it January 1st. This really set her up to have the album of the year, or at least the song of the year. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying album. She definitely had the song of the year with Flowers, and that started a bunch of conspiracy theories with her and Liam Hemsworth. I mean, there were so many to count. I talk about it on the podcast I'm on, Talk Miley to Me. It was crazy. Like Stan Twitter was coming up with these crazy lies that were totally not confirmed. But you know that there's a part of the internet that like just believes everything they read? So those kind of people took off with just Stan Twitter, creating these like rumors and conspiracy theories about everything that's connected in the Flowers music video. And I just feel like that was a little too iconic. I can buy myself flowers. Something else that happened in January that really didn't affect me because I really didn't know about it was Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, dropping. He apparently described rubbing his mom's favorite lotion on his penis to cure frostbite.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
I don't really know much else. I know that was one of the big things that happened in the book. Maybe I need to give it a read. Anything else crazy happen in that book? Because this is definitely one of the big... I remember people talking about this, but I didn't really dive too deep into it. Let me know if you read it or not. Moving on to February. A lot of things happened here. We had eyebrow gate. This was the drama between like Selena, Haley, featuring Kylie. The timeline on this drama with them, the beginning of this year, was so lengthy. That's what makes me feel like, oh, that was this year, because it feels like so long ago, but it was so much. Like, I'm talking timelines. January 11th, Haley responds to speculation about her alleged shade. I never comment on this type of thing, but we were just having a girls' night and did a random TikTok sound for fun because she made some weird mean girl TikTok.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
This could be a whole video, at least hundreds of other people that have done deep dives on this, so I don't want to tell you to go watch it because it really doesn't matter now. Anyway, the drama ended whenever they ended up taking a photo together. It's just so crazy. To be honest, just touching base on the like Selena, Haley, Justin thing, I don't feel like Justin is still in love with Selena. Like a lot of people think that. In my opinion, I feel like that's not the case. I personally feel like if he was, he would be with her. And he definitely wouldn't be with Haley if he hated her. Basically, Eyebrow Gate was such a big thing because it brought back the drama between, like the love triangle drama between Haley, Justin, and Selena. Which is just a little crazy, you know?
I am a little very gagged.
Rihanna's Super Bowl performance. I just remember when she was announced, like my friends and I were all freaking out because she has literally not been back to music in however many long years. I think it's been like 10 years. Damn! She's been very busy with Fenty and just like running businesses. But when she was going to be the Super Bowl performance, we were like so ecstatic. I mean, usually I'm looking more forward to the Super Bowl halftime show than the actual Super Bowl. However, when she came out, it was very much like, no shade to Rihanna, but like it was very underwhelming. I just feel like something was a little off, and not really off, but like something was up. The way she was wearing like her like red jumpsuit and it was like unzipped and all of that. That was her pregnancy announcement for her and ASAP's second baby. That to me is iconic. It's giving the same thing as whenever Beyonce announced her pregnancy on, was it the Billboard Awards? One of those award shows where she dropped the mic and like showed her belly. Even more iconic because it's the Super Bowl. Like imagine being the baby of Rihanna and being like, yeah, I was debuted at the Super Bowl performance in 2023. What about you? Like that is just a little too iconic. She also had the chance to promote her Fenty beauty line. She's pregnant, performing for the Super Bowl, and promoting her own business. A little too iconic. However, going back to the underwhelming part of the Super Bowl, I think everyone was wanting to have more like choreography and just like more dance numbers. And we didn't get that, but for good reason. She was pregnant. She sounded great though. Vocals on point. Also what happened this year, the discussion of UFOs, pretty much proof that aliens exist. That's what I took away from it. Do your own research. But that started this year, and for some reason it like was so big on TikTok for like a few weeks and then it just dropped. So I want to know more about that. Okay, March, Scandoval happened. This is one I really don't know anything about. I don't watch Bravo shows. I probably should because there's so much tea and so much just like, I love trash reality TV, like Love is Blind. Maybe I should get into Bravo stuff, but it just seems so overwhelming with like the amount of content and like the fact that I would feel like I would need to catch up and all of that. But Scandoval happened. I had to mention this because if I didn't, I feel like people would be coming at my throat. But basically, I guess one of the guys in the show cheated on his wife with his wife's best friend. That's kind of the extent I know about that. But that happened, and that's all I heard anyone ever talk about this year, if it wasn't about Taylor Swift or any of the other things we're talking about, basically. Something else that happened in March that I was a huge fan of was Gwyneth Paltrow's ski trial. This guy named Terry Sanderson filed a lawsuit against Gwyneth after the pair collided with each other in a 2016 ski trip. Basically, he was saying that, like, she did it on purpose or it caused injuries that cost him money. Here's my thing. If you're skiing, you should know that there's the potential to fall and get hurt. I know if I was skiing, like I would be tumbling down those hills. So I just thought that was very odd. It gives very much like he was money hungry. Basically, she ended up winning the lawsuit and she like I think she sued him for like $1 or something. She basically just wanted to like prove her point that she wasn't like malicious about it.
To feel like she's stupid. It was so awful.
Iconically, when the trial was televised, and when it was over, she whispered in his ear while she was walking out, "I wish you well," after the jury ruled in her favor.
I'm going to make a quick statement. Ms. Paltrow is not going to be making a statement today.
Listen, Gwenyth is kind of weird sometimes, but she is a very peaceful person. But she is very much like in her like element at all times and very peaceful. Like I've never seen her distraught or like upset. Like it's skiing. Like grow the fuck up, Terry. The Eras Tour kicked off with Taylor Swift on March 17th in Glendale, Arizona. I just feel like Arizona should know that they're blessed for having her tour kick off there because that's iconic. However, it's still going on. So we're going to get more 2024 Taylor Swift shows. And I am so happy about that because in a world of TikTok, I always see like live streams of her concert and we just get to see her perform throughout 2024, just like we did in 2023. And I'm so excited. Going forward to skipping over to May, we have the cockroach at the Met Gala. The Met Gala is very interesting to me. Like I'm that person that's like sitting on a couch during the Met Gala in sweats, similar to what I have on now, and just judging the hell out of people.
You're ugly.
She's slang, you're boring, what a mess. And me, I have no knowledge about fashion whatsoever. But the fact that there was a cockroach at the Met Gala that made multiple appearances, he said, "I'm getting my bag, I'm getting my screen time." And then we found out the cockroach died because somebody stepped on it. Tragic. June, we had a couple things happening. So Travis and Kourtney announced their pregnancy. Kourtney showed up to a Blink-182 show and held a sign that said, "Travis, I'm pregnant." Very Kardashian of her to do this. The standards are high for announcing pregnancies, at least in the celebrity world. So she definitely set the bar high with that one. Also, the Grimace shake from McDonald's started happening in June. I think it was like a month long that they let this happen. The Grimace shake had such a chokehold on at least America, and I'm sure the world, but I know for sure America. I could not get a Grimace shake to save my life. I saw all the TikToks and I didn't want to make one of those messy TikToks. Like people were out here just like buying like 12 Grimace shakes to like pour all over their body and like just make a whole scene for TikTok.
Happy birthday, Grimace.
Or merely
I simply just wanted to try one because I was like, what's all the craze about? I mean, yes, it looks cute. It's a purple shake. Grimace turned like 52 years old. So Ronald McDonald said, we got to celebrate. And hopefully for his 53rd birthday, they bring that back next year. And I'm sure they will because think about how much money they made off of the Grimace shake. And if you don't know what the Grimace shake is, I don't know what to tell you because I feel like everyone should have known, at least if you're on the internet at all. July, we had the Ariana Grande SpongeBob gate, as in Ariana Grande got with Ethan Slater. She divorced her husband, started dating Ethan Slater. Well, Ethan Slater had a wife and newborn baby or child on the way at home. And I feel like this is still processing. Like there's still a lot of conspiracy and just like items out there about this. I'm sure we'll learn more about their relationship and just what's happening with Ariana Grande. But this did not rub people the right way. And why should it? Because you have Ethan Slater. He's with his high school sweetheart of however long, many years. And they have a baby on the way, a newborn. And Ariana Grande divorces her husband and starts dating Ethan. And I mean, that looks really bad. And that is still probably taking the world by storm a little bit. Next, we go to July. We had Barbenheimer coming out. I did go see the Barbie movie in theaters. And I feel like the marketing for Barbie they set the bar high for the movie. The marketing did. Although I did like the movie, like I thought it was cute, I don't think I would go out of my way to watch it again. To be honest, I feel like the marketing really had me in the chokehold to go see it and really amped it up. And I just thought the whole idea of it was great. So I went to go see the movie and it just didn't live up to the expectations that the marketing team built up for that movie. That came out the same weekend Oppenheimer did. I have not seen Oppenheimer. That is on my list to see, but that was basically the biggest double feature movie out that came out this year. Another weekend they had like the new Saw movie and the new Paw Patrol movie coming out. They named it like Saw Patrol for like the double feature film, and I thought that was really funny. August, we got the Donald Trump mugshot. A little too iconic. That's all I have to say about that. Scooter Braun's clients possibly drop him. So back in August, there was like a lot of talk about Scooter Braun getting dropped from his clients. So those clients being Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, possibly Demi Lovato, and probably a little bit more. Those are just the three I know. This was really a big deal because, I mean, if you're a Swiftie, you know how much trash of a person Scooter Braun is, but like it seemed like from the outside looking in is like, oh, like those artists are finally realizing that too. However, then I know a few months ago, I found out that Ariana Grande is still signed to him. So I don't really know how much truth that holds, but I know that really caused like a big frenzy on Stan Twitter and TikTok. People were talking about it. Recently in November, Harry Styles shaved his head, which I was never like a big One Direction fan, nor am I really like a huge Harry Styles fan. Like I like his music, but I'm not like a stan, I guess. Whenever I saw the picture of him with his head shaved, all the girlies were freaking. But I will say it still doesn't pass Miley's hair shave in 2013 when she got a pixie cut. Harry Styles going bald does not beat the controversy that Miley Cyrus had when she went to a pixie cut. Also, what happened in November was Dolly Parton performed for the Dallas Cowboys, and she wore one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfits. And she looked so good. She's like in her 70s. And the fact that she can look like that and perform like that, just be that iconic, it really like rattles my brain a little bit. Something that happened this past month in December was Selena Gomez hard launching her and Benny Blanco's relationship. This is also very controversial because in the past, Benny Blanco has talked badly about Selena Gomez publicly. And I don't really know the full details, but I know that she fought back on Twitter at her fans saying like, if you really care about me, if you're really one of my fans, you'd respect me. Like, this is my life. I'm not going to let what you do, like, or what you talk about online dictate my life. It's always very interesting when she does clap back at people in her comments because I feel like she's so much of a celebrity that we don't really see celebrities at her level do that. And she's one of the ones that does. I don't know. Maybe he's a really funny guy.
Okay.
We're going to talk about some of the breakups that happened this year. This year was like a lot of surprising breakups, and there's definitely way more than the four I'm going to touch on. But these were the four that really shook me and I feel like affected me. Ariana Grande and her ex-husband, we talked about that a little bit. Now she is with SpongeBob SquarePants or Ethan Slater. Another crazy breakup was Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. I feel like from the outside looking in, we all thought they were like a match made in heaven. I mean, we really didn't see much of him. He was very much a low-key kind of guy. However, they were together for like 7 years, and that has been her longest relationship. So it was very shocking when we did find out. And as time has went on, it makes sense as a Swiftie. You just see like she wants to be bejeweled, and like it does make sense why they broke up now, as you can look into like the lyricism of her songs and start to dissect all of that. However, when it first happened, I was personally shook. So that's definitely one of the biggest breakups, I think, of 2023. Another one that actually maybe had me more shook, or maybe just as shook, was Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. I mean, they have 2 kids together. They publicly announced that they're divorced, and it seemed like it was pretty smooth at first. However, then it seemed a little messy there. We do know the Jonas Brothers were on tour this year. I think they've kept it pretty much under wraps, but the fact that after they divorced, Sophie Turner stepped out with Taylor Swift, Joe Jonas's other ex-girlfriend, is a little too iconic.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
And then I'd say the fourth big one that, in my opinion, that I paid attention to was Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. We did have kind of a bad feeling about Sam just regarding with the conservatorship, and the fact that she got married while she was like kind of fizzling out of the conservatorship gave me the wrong kind of vibe. I'm very happy for her. I'm happy that she's able to be single and like just try to like start discovering herself, because she had like 13 plus years ripped away from her due to the conservatorship and her father. I'm excited for her to like be single and just learn about her own self and like what she likes and what she's looking for. Two crazy couples to me that happened this year that like blew my mind when they first happened. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, the Wonka himself. This one is such a weird couple to me, but I remember when there was like rumors of them starting off in the spring, people were keying it as Skinny Boy Spring. Her coming from Travis Scott to her going to Timothée Chalamet. So she looks really happy, and I don't know, maybe they connect more than we would think. And then of course, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. She went to a Kansas City game and stepped out with Travis Kelce. And I really feel like he is the meathead that she needed. She needed someone that was comfortable with her fame, that was not threatened by her success. I think that she finally found that person. He makes her look so small. She's a pretty tall woman. Her and I are about the same height, so like 5'11". When they're next to each other, like usually like she's always like the same height as her boyfriends, or like they're very similar in size. But he makes her look so dainty and small. And maybe she likes that too. To finish up this YouTube video, we're going to talk about my favorites of 2023. One of those is Daisy Jones and the Six, the TV show. If you have not watched this show, go watch it. Elvis Presley's granddaughter stars as Daisy. And it's basically the band in the show is based off of Fleetwood Mac, and loosely based off of them. Of course, they change up some of the storyline, but it's so good. And the music from it, like the soundtrack, I actively re-listen to. So you can also get some good music out of it. So go check it out. Another show that I know didn't come out this year, but I started watching this year was Ted Lasso. Such a good show. The only thing I'm upset about is that it took me this long to give it a chance. It's a good, like, feel-good, uplifting show that also has a great storyline. It's an easy watch, but it also gets a little emotional too. It's just overall a great show. Another good show was Silo. I think this came out on Apple TV, but basically it's about this community. They all live like underground in a silo because the outside world is too toxic for them to live in. But really the whole show, you're wondering like, is it really toxic outside? Are the higher up people lying to us that it's toxic? Some albums that I really liked this year. Of course, we have Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus. We have 1989, Taylor's version, This Is Why, Paramore. This was their first album in like, I think like 6 years. And I caught myself listening to this album a lot. So definitely check it out. I wasn't sure what to expect from it, but I ended up really liking this album. And then I was able to watch them at Bonnaroo perform a lot of the songs. And it was a good one. Another great album that dropped in 2023 was The Album by the Jonas Brothers. I think John Bellion helped produce and write a lot of the music on this album. Anyway, guys, that was me looking back on 2023 moments, favorites, songs, albums. Definitely let me know what your favorite pop culture moments were down in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to follow for more content. Definitely just let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know, and I would love to hear your feedback. Have a great day, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.